What's going on, everyone? Today we have to talk about COAI. For those that are still interested here, we actually seen a pretty big drop today, actually a whole of 10% in the last 24 hours for COAI. So we're going to talk about where I think this thing's going next. You guys already know how I feel about this, but anyways, let's get into it. Go ahead and become a member of the channel, guys, all that good stuff. And remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's talk about it because we're down 10% in the last 24 hours, 5% in the last hour, 60% in the last 7 days, 94% in the last 2 weeks, 61% in the last 30 days. So this is, it's looking pretty bad here for COAI. The volume is still staying up at 126 million. The market cap is looking decent at 173 million, but we're still on a downtrend and a lot of people are getting liquidated and losing a lot of money. This guy right here says, thanks to COAI, Aster, and MMT, within 10 days, I've successfully turned $1,186 into $72. This is why you guys don't do leverage. Don't do leverage. Stop buying things at the tops. Stop buying things at the tops. If you do these two things, you will be way more successful in the crypto market. Do not do leverage and do not buy near the tops. If you see things pumping, you do not buy. If you see that they're red, you buy. Now, obviously, COAI is one of those special cases where you do not buy when you see red, because this thing is going to continue to dump, because I've already explained it before how essentially it's the perfect pump and dump, right? It's the perfect pump and dump. But as you can see, they're shaking people out, right? We had 54,000 holders 2 weeks ago. And now we have 38,000 holders. So they're shaking people out actively. The top 10 wallets own all of the coins. One of the top 10 wallets is actively dumping. The other ones are actually holding it. But yeah, COAI right now is a crazy case of pump and dump, right? But we're going to talk a little bit more about this, because it's going to be extremely hard for anybody to actually make money on COAI. Let's be completely honest. This thing, like I said, the perfect pump and dump. But anyways, what we're looking for next is 50 cents. Yes, it's going to dump another 50% here. So we are going to go down to 50 cents from where we are right now. That is another 44%, guys. 44% down to 50 cents. And then after we reach 50 cents, if we don't break out from there, we're then looking for 30 cents. That's another 65% to the downside. That's why I tell you guys, do not trade stuff like this. I just make the videos on COAI because people obviously seem to like COAI. And honestly, I trade COAI here and there for myself too. But I got burned just as much as you guys. So I'm waiting on the upside as well. So I think everybody is in the same position with COAI, where we really don't like the project. We really don't like the pump and dumpness of it. But we're waiting for it to go back up because we know that it could pump again and then dump again. So we're waiting for that pump. So it is what it is at this point. It's not really a big deal to me because I put in money that I didn't really care about and money that I didn't really need. And that's why I was saying never put in more than what you're willing to lose. But, it would be a nice pump to the upside if it does go up. I've always been targeting $18 on COAI. I think if it started to break out now, like $18 is where I was wanting to target it for. But I don't think it's going to reach that anytime soon now. So yeah, kiss that goodbye. And maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but soon, probably not. And you can see all of these different indicators here. So look, on the 4-hour chart, you can actually see down here at the bottom, right down here, the %R trend exhaustion is actively oversold. So if you look at the bottom, how the %R trend exhaustion is just trending along the bottom here, just trading sideways. Literally oversold, but still going sideways, still going down. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, there's no hope for this project. Absolutely no hope for this. And then if you come over here and you look at the smaller charts, the hourly chart, you still see no hope for it. Like, literally, like, it's doing the same thing on the hourly chart. The short-term trend keeps going up and down, which is the white line, but it can't break out because the long-term trend is going to stay sideways because, it's just not a good project. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but it is what it is. They have an AI that's like it's pretty much like ChatGPT, but the product isn't the problem because there's plenty of meme coins with 0 products, right? There's plenty of coins that have 0 products and they do very well. I mean, look at Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin doesn't have a product. Like, but hey, Bitcoin that's probably the wrong example, but still, Bitcoin has no products, but it's digital gold as in like people's eyes. So it's all about the community, how the community feels about the coin. So if COAI does not get the attention of the people back, I don't think this thing will ever recover, and we all might just be out of our money if it doesn't ever recover. But one thing I will say is the top 10 holders are still holding. There's one holder in the top 10 that is actively dumping, and they're probably the ones causing all of this because they have enough money to cause, a lot of turmoil. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up each and every single one of these wallets for the top 10 just to kind of show you what they're all doing. So this is the number 1 wallet. They don't sell anything, have never sold. This is the number 2 wallet. They don't sell anything. Obviously, you see 9 cents leaving. That's a test. They were testing before they put their money in it. But the number 2 wallet, nothing, none sold. The number 3 wallet here, I gotta hit the refresh. Nothing, none sold. The next wallet, number 4, wallet number 4, they had a test transaction, but they haven't sold. Wallet number 5, let's go ahead and hit the refresh for 5. So wallet number 5, again, never sold. They had a test transaction. Wallet number 6, never sold. But when you get to wallet number 7, yeah, this is wallet number 7. So let me tell you about wallet number 7. Wallet number 7 actively sells every day, all day, actively day trading, actively, working the system. Wallet number 7 got in 14 hours ago with $873,000. And then wallet number 7 came out with $891,000. So they're making money. This whale is trading and they're making money. Now, you can't blame a whale for trading and making money. If we all had the money and the opportunity, we would be doing the same thing that they're doing with the big amounts of money they're using. Look, 26 hours ago, 1.7 million. Remember when it pumped 26 hours ago? Right? Well, look, they came in, or no, I think it actually dumped. Well, look, 1.7 million, then they sold 1.2. So maybe they're losing some here and there. But all we know is that they're actually actively trading with BitGet. So a lot of money is going in and out through this wallet right here. This is wallet number 7. But other than that, even wallet number 8, they're not doing any transactions. Wallet number 9, though, isn't really doing anything either. But 28 days ago, they sent to another wallet. But other than that, they're not doing anything. And then from that wallet, it went to this wallet. And then from this wallet, the Binance Alpha Router. And from there, I don't know where it goes. But then this right here, this is the wallet number 10. They don't sell either. So the top 10 wallets, they're not selling. They still have tens of millions of dollars. At one point, the top 10 wallets, some of them had billions of dollars, and they never sold anything. That's the one thing that makes me feel like the COAI thing could be legitimate in a way, because the top 10 wallets had billions of dollars and they did not sell. Now they have hundreds of millions of dollars and they're still not selling. Only one of them is actively trading, but they're not necessarily selling and getting out. That's the one reason why I leave the coins in that I have, right? I'm leaving the coins in there because I feel like there could be a reversal, right, to the upside. Now, when? I don't know. This thing could quite as well be dead. It could be a dead project, right? Who knows? But one thing I do know is that we have strong support at 50 cents and 30 cents. So those are the two target prices. I have no confidence that this thing is going to go and do a breakout here. I don't know why. I just don't have any confidence of a current breakout. Now, I did bottom out and then start to trade sideways, but until we reach these supports here, I have no confidence of a breakout for COAI. So unfortunately, we should see another pullback here. But remember, you can dollar cost average. Look, you can dollar cost average and make all of your money back. And let me tell you how. So I'm down just as much as you guys. You guys know I bought in at $6, right? So if I got in at $6 with $1,000, and now I'm waiting for it to go down to 30 cents. I have like what 180 something coins, like something like that. But look, if I got in all the way down here at 30 cents with just $200, because remember, $1,000 only got me like 180 coins, 170 coins, but $200 all the way down here at 30 cents would get me 666 coins, as compared to the 200 or the 170, 180 coins I got with $1,000 while it was priced at $6. So see, if I did this, right, now I'm $1,200 in. I'm $1,200 deep, right? So now I'm $1,200 deep. I got the beast code. We're just gonna say that the beast code. That's what that is. I don't like that number though. I'm gonna put it on 660, right? I'm gonna put it right there, right? But anyways, actually no, I can still do that because I still gotta add my my coins that I have currently. So I have 836 coins, right? So I'm in 1,200 deep, 836 because I just bought $200 worth at 30 cents, right? It was only $200, and I got a bunch of coins. So now all I gotta really do is wait for it to go back up to if I want to just break even. Now I'm really just waiting until it hits this resistance up here at like $1.75. Like if I just want to break even, I'm looking for $1.75, $1.78, right? And I'm doing more than breaking even. I now have $263 in profit because I spent $200 at 30 cents. So let me break this down again in the most clear, concise way possible, that so people could see the power of dollar cost averaging. And typically, you only want a dollar cost average in a solid project. COAI is by no means solid. So this is not the one you really want to be dumping all your money in. But if you're down a lot, you can get in with a little bit at 30 cents and roll the dice on a little $200. If $200 doesn't affect you, roll the dice. You can roll the dice if you want, if it doesn't affect you. But if $200 is too much for you to do at that time, don't feel embarrassed. Just don't do anything then. It is what it is. Like, you got to be extremely cautious while you're trading. But anyways, let me put this in the most clear, concise way. I, like many other people, were like, maybe we would bounce right here, right? I thought we would bounce around this area around $6. I was wrong. So anyways, we come all the way down here. I buy at $6, $1,000 at $6 for 170 coins, right? And then we continue to come all the way down here, and we continue to keep dropping, and we keep dropping, and we keep dropping, and we keep dropping, right? And I think right now my money's worth like $180 right now. Like, I looked at it, it's like $180 right now. So as it goes down, I'm now from $1,000. Let's say I'm down, and I'm just giving ballpark ranges, guys, because I got to look at it to actually know how many coins I really have. But just giving you a quick ballpark of 170. So yeah, I'm at about $152 right now. So at 30 cents, if you think about it, I went from $1,000 down to $51 at 30 cents. It's funny to me because I don't need the money, but to people who lost money and actually needed it, it's not funny. So let's be real, it's not funny. But look, it goes down to 30 cents. Boom. Now my 170 coins is only worth $51. The $1,000 that I put in is only worth 51. Cool. That's cool. Why is it cool? Because I know 30 cents is close to a bottom we're gonna get. If it keeps going down after that, I'm gonna take the loss on the 200 and on the 1,000. So on the whole 1,200, I'm taking a loss if it keeps dumping, right? And maybe it will pump after that, but after that, I'm not even gonna look at it. I'm just gonna let the money do what it does. And this is my plan, and this is why I say, guys, you can't play with money that you need. Put in what you're willing to lose, because once it hits 30 cents, I'm gonna take my $200. And then I'm going to put it in at 30 cents. That's going to give me this many coins plus my 170 coins I already have. That's going to give me 836. So now the way I'm looking at this is 836. Let's say COAI just comes back, bounces back, boom, comes back with a vengeance. Let's say it goes up to $18. Well, now I put in $1,200 that I did not care about. I'm playing with this money. I'm literally playing with this money. Like, and I'm not trying to act like I have a bunch of money. I by no means have a bunch of money. I just live in a place that's extremely cheap to where I don't need much to survive. I live in Thailand right now, and I moved here from the US. So I'm surviving off $1,000 a month. So just off of making videos, I can survive. Or just off of doing 2 to 3 trades a month, I can survive. I can't thrive, but I can survive off the small amounts. So what I'm saying here is, if you don't need, like, let's say you put in like me $1,000 at $6, right? Or let's say you did $1,000 at like 40. Now you're really screwed, and now you really have to do what I'm saying. Well, not have to, but it's gonna help you out a lot. Now, if you want to break even, guys, $200 at 30 cents, multiply that by $18, you're getting $15,000. That's also because I had 170 coins previously that, you already know what happened with that. But look, this is how easy this trade could be. But who's to say it would ever get back to $18 again? COAI might never reach $18. And that's why you got to do it with money that you're willing to lose. Like, if you're willing to lose it, it's a gamble at that point. And honestly, I already put $1,000 in. It's worth $150 now. So now I'm like, screw it. At 30 cents, I'm going to put in $200. And I'm going to hold this out until $18 because that was my original plan, and I'm sticking to it. If it ever reaches $18, my $1,200 turns into $15,000. Where I live, $15,000 lasts me a whole year. And that's one trade, right? So if I can do one trade like that and put that to the side, and then we can keep going on other trades, right? And this is, how I like to trade. I like to dollar cost average. I think dollar cost averaging is the smartest way to do things. But I don't think you should dollar cost average on projects like this that are extremely risky and they're pump and dumps. I'm going to be completely honest. This is a pump and dump. But when was the first time massive liquidity entered the market? Massive liquidity entered the market at about 38 cents. So give or take, we drop down to 50 cents and come down a little more to 30. And from there, we could quite possibly have another breakout. Or we might trade sideways for a long time and then have a breakout. But I think eventually COAI will have another breakout. I do truly believe it will. But I think once we hit 50 cents to 30 cents, it might trade sideways for a while and then do it once the overall market comes back into play. So there's a lot of ways we can spin this. Either way, at 30 cents, I'm dropping $200 on this thing. And I'm holding it till $18 because... Oh yeah, let me explain the $18 theory too. Why I chose $18 over all the other ones. So if you come over here and you look at the little range that we were trying to trade in before COAI completely dumped on us, we don't really need the support down here at the bottom. But if we're looking at this trend line here, this trend line is going to extend longer and longer and longer. And the longer this trend line extends, the closer it gets to $18. So hypothetically speaking, that's going to be, one of the big resistance areas. Let's say COAI recovers later on in November, and by the end of November, it tries to get up here to 18. 18 is probably where it gets stopped at, right? As we're coming down with this trend line. But let's say it extends past, extends past November, then COAI might just continue to trade sideways, and it might never reach those highs ever again. It might only get up to like $2, maybe $6. And then from there, I might just take losses. But this is pretty much my plan for this. Again, this is a complete gamble. COAI is not the coin you want to hold for life. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's a pump and dump, right? And we all know it. Even my first video making it on COAI, I was like, hey, you guys don't do what I'm doing right now. I'm about to go crazy with this 1,000. I'm about to put this 1,000 in and pray for the best. If nothing happens, I'm going to let it dump and then I'm going to put more money in it, right? Because sometimes when you do these crazy bets, things just happen and they just happen. I don't know. Like during COVID, the COVID times, we got $1,400 stimulus checks. It was around there or something like that. I think it was 14. But anyways, I took $700 from one of those stimulus checks and I put it into a penny stock. And then it went from like 0.0001 to like 0.003, 0.0034, somewhere around there. And that $700 turned to $21,000 inside of 3 weeks. So I've had a lot of trades like this where they were just stupid risky, but it was with money I didn't care about. I didn't need it. Like the COVID money, that was free money. I didn't know I didn't need it. Like it just came to me, and I was like, okay, let's see what I can do with it. And it went from 700 to 21,000. So if you didn't get any message from this video, just know the one message you need is never put in more than you're willing to lose, and expect any money that you put in to be worthless as soon as you put it in, and just sit it there until your price target. Make sure your price target is reasonable, and make sure it's not too far-fetched. And the reason why $18 I feel like is reasonable is because, for one, I mean, this thing went really high last time. I think the all-time high is what, $43.81. I think $18 could be achievable for this. But take the circulating supply, multiply it by $18, and you get 3.5 billion in market cap. And then if you want to know the fully diluted value, you just take the total supply, multiply it by $18, you get 18 billion in market cap. So that's pretty much how we have it there. But anyways, there you have it. Remember, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Trade at your own risk. Never put in more than what you're willing to lose. Remember, this game is rigged for the whales. Be very cautious with your money. Shout out to all the members out there, though. Hit the like button and subscribe, all that good stuff. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this financial advice. Be very careful, guys. As always, I'll be back with another video.